Today, if you were to Google war, what would you find? Click on the first link and you would get a Wikipedia page. Click on maps and you would find a list of museums dedicated to wars. Click on images and you would find pictures of soldiers with guns or old black and whites from the First or Second World Wars. Click on news, etc., etc. 14 years ago, events that shocked our country caused a war to start overseas. Many men and women were called to service in order to protect not only our nation, but the Iraqi nation as well. I have recently interviewed my father and uncle, who served in the United States Marine Corps together. They recounted their experiences while they were deployed in Iraq from 2004 to 2005.
The my unit's main goal was support of the wing squadron. So we had heavy equipment and motor transportation that would move things from place to place, and we had to keep the runways clean and clear. So that was another big part of the job, and we had military personnel that was attached to our unit that made sure that the security or the fence around the airport was maintained and patrolled. And then
while overseas, these many men and women endure conditions they are not used to, and work hard for months and even years to train for a rare experience like this one. Most just out of high school at an age of 18 or 19.
We spent, I want to say, maybe a month at Westover Air Force Base doing like pre-deployment stuff. Like they kind of gave us a quick rundown on what we were going to be doing there. We were getting shots, vaccinations, all kinds of stuff to prep us for the overseas environment. After the month of shots and all that fun stuff, we went to Camp Pendleton, California for 3 months, maybe 2.5 months, and trained in the heat in the desert of California to help acclimatize to the desert of Iraq. And then I think it was like August of '04, we got on the plane and flew to Iraq.
Staying in contact with loved ones was hard, and when the troops weren't clearing the runway, recovering from a bombing of their camp, or doing patrols in local villages, they spent their free time like many of us do at home. They just do it in a different environment to pass the time.
we had football. We played football, or we play some other game and stay active. We also had, I called it the Haji Mart. It was like a marketplace down, and they allowed some of the local people to come, and they could sell different things there. We could purchase, a case of soda if we want, or we could purchase, I don't know, cookies or candy from the locals. Some of them had videos and DVDs. We'd buy the DVDs and...
After spending a year in Iraq, becoming accustomed to the land and people, my dad and uncle, along with their troop, was able to go home, some permanently and others deciding to go back for another tour. Though being home sounds good, There were just as many adjustments that had to be made coming back as there was going there.
It's almost the same culture shock that I was talking about earlier when we first got to Iraq. After being over there for so long, and you have your routine that you do every day, and you know the sounds and sights, and you know the people that surround you. Like coming home, as much as you want to be home, is almost a shock as well.
Mm-hmm.
I remember maybe the first week, second week maybe, that I was home, going to the grocery store, and I couldn't stay inside the grocery store. It was too much commotion. I was used to very little.
For me, it was relatively easy to get back into the swing of things. My job in the Marine Corps was what I did in the civilian life or whatever, so it was kind of like I just went back to work.
Mm-hmm.
We were fortunate to not see any real action or...
Years later, the relationships that were made are still strong today. Strangers are made brothers, and friends are made into family.